Welcome to In Defense of Animals, an organization which is actively involved in the field of animal welfare and animal rights awareness. Having started from a two-room garage at Bhandup 6 years back, today it has 18 enclosures, a full-time doctor, and caters to the medical needs of about 250 dogs at any point of time. Yet, due to paucity of funds, the organization is struggling to stay afloat. Quite often, electricity and telephone connections of the center have been suspended due to non-payment of bills. Bravely facing these constraints, the people here work with a zeal and sense of commitment which is out of the ordinary. The IDA has an ambulance which springs to action when needed. It brings back dogs suffering from disease and injury. The ward boys gently remove them to the enclosures which serve as shelters while they undergo treatment. Once they become healthy, they are taken back to the place from where they were brought. After spending a day or two at the center, these dogs become friendly with the ward boys. They impose a great sense of trust in these ward boys, who take care of them and feed them. These gentle canines easily allow medicines to be administered to them. Like countless dogs in the street, who suffer the pain of gradually being eaten alive by maggots which inhabit an open wound. This black dog has also undergone severe pain, till someone brought him to IDA. With proper medical attention here, he is expected to recover in a few weeks. These puppies arrived in this world a month and a half ago. They have perhaps forgotten their mother, who died on the street from a serious injury a few days back. Seeing their plight, someone brought them here. For now, it's a world of fun and games for them. But with their immunity levels extremely low and susceptibility to infection very high, everyone here hopes someone caring will adopt them before they succumb to lethal infection. These dogs stand together and give us a curious look. But for the ward boys who look after them, is not a moment of relaxation. In addition to nursing, these boys keep the enclosures clean and prepare food for these animals. These ward boys, some of whom are orphans, feel a deep sense of understanding towards these animals and a commitment for the work which has assumed great importance in their life. This dog is called Samosa. He was brought here many months back from the street by a board member of IDA. Saw that one of his front legs was badly injured. He also had severe infection in the eyes. Having been discovered at a rather late stage, his leg had to be amputated and he also lost one of his eyes. Realizing that it would be difficult for him to survive a life on the street, in a rare gesture, IDA decided to keep him forever. Today, he gives love and affection to all he meets. He has even won 1,000 rupees at a dog show, which, for obvious reasons, he donated to IDA. At 9 AM and 5 PM each day, these dogs are served a meal of milk, jaggery and soya. They are also fed biscuits. Let's look at how someone who cares for animals can contribute when he comes across an injured animal. This female dog has had an accident which has left both her legs fractured. She's in dire need of medical care and needs to be hospitalized. Fortunately, for someone who wants to help out, most dogs are actually docile animals who respond to even the slightest affection. Street dogs like this one can be easily befriended. Carefully carrying them on the way to the hospital and treating them with affection puts them at ease. For Mrs. Sudhnya Patkar, an ardent animal welfare activist, founded IDA, it has been a long journey, but there's still a lot more to be done. Let's find out what made her dedicate her life to the cause of animal welfare.
In our country, there is a lot of social work to be done, right from children, women, orphans, lame, blind, everything. But the most helpless I feel is animals because they can't speak. Several organizations in the country who work for children. We have very few volunteers, but those who are there are just dedicated people. They put their life in it. It has become their, what shall I say, aim of life to work for animals. But there are very few who work for animals. And I think the most exploited and deprived lot is in our country is animals. And therefore I chose to work for animals. Our organization started in '96, so we are just 5 years old. In 5 years, what we have achieved, I think is fantastic. And we never say no to any animal. Any animal in distress has a place in our center. If there is a cruelty to animals, the ideal situation is go to the police station. Because the police have the powers to stop that cruelty. But we find that the response from the police station is not as encouraging. They are already bogged down with crimes against human beings, and they say कि जानवरों के लिए वक्त नहीं है. So I always tell people that in your area you form a group of people who are fond of animals. Or if you 10 people go and tell the police station that this offence is taking place, the police will think twice before saying no. If you find an animal who is injured or who is hit by a car or something, then you have to call the animal welfare organization to have him picked up. If you can pick up the animal and take him in a rickshaw, it will save the effort of the organization. If you can't do that, at least telephone to say that this animal is lying here and please come and pick it up. Today the position is such that we don't know where our next month's money is going to come. We cannot tell the poor animals that today we don't have money to buy you your food. I have donors who give us even 100 rupees a month. And I have to spend 5 rupees to send them the receipt back. But I don't mind, because that person cares for them. They give unselfish love. That's the best thing. They don't expect anything from you. When you come from work, welcome that you get, I think your entire thakan chali jati hai, which you may or may not get from a human being. My vision is that there is a big animal hospital in Parel. We should have a mini hospital in suburbs, and Devnar should be one of them. We want to have a small ward for the cattle, for the ponies, an X-ray machine, a laboratory, where you should have place to house pigeons who are hurt, birds who are hurt. So it should be a mini hospital. We want more vets to come then. We want more ambulances. Today we have just one ambulance running around everywhere. But if one call is from Thana and another from Borivali, it becomes very difficult. My idea is that we should have 2-3 ambulances. We should have a mini hospital which is regularly funded there somewhere. How much that animal is suffering, we are happy to have him, but we find that it's so going through such a bad period. And when we are looking after that animal, he is going through this. What happens to the animals who are on the street where nobody is looking after? Only, for example, children. If you teach your children to be kind and compassionate, those children will grow up to be really good, caring adults. If you teach your child that throw a stone at the dog, otherwise he'll bite you, those children will not grow up to be caring. So to make your child caring, teach him to be caring from his childhood. Then only he will grow up to be a caring adult.
After being treated, fed and looked after, these fine animals look to the world outside with a dream of freedom in their eyes.